Good evening again, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful evening of love. Although love is not enough, as you will soon find out. We welcome you all to the book launch of Janet McNish, and it's really good to see people from all over the world, from Ghana to USA, Yorkshire, Scotland, and London, just to name a few places. It's really good to welcome to you all, and I acknowledge all the special guests. Now I will welcome and introduce to you Janet. Janet, over to you.
Hello. Oh, good evening, everyone. Wow. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming this evening to my book launch, my debut book. And thank you. It's wonderful to see. I can see some of you. I can't quite see you, but thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time out this evening. And we've got a program for you that you're going to love. So the book is called, okay, let me say, we've had a lot of technical problems, but life goes on, but we're prepared. We've got you. So the book is called 30 Pearls of Wisdom on Love and Relationships. And it was distilled. I'll break that down a little bit more as to why, but this is based on my 30 years of working as a trauma-informed counsellor. And I specialize in the areas of relationship and trauma. And during that time, I've managed mental health projects and so on. But the book is a distillation of some of the things I've learned over the years about love. And one thing I've learned is, as I sat with people in my counseling room, with friends, with my own life, it's said that if you have love, you have everything. I don't think that's true. What I found that with love, there's so many aspects of love, but when you've got the romantic love and other kinds of love, you need other things too. We can't just go with emotions. We need to have structure as well. And I'm going to unfold some of that through as I share parts of the book with you. And so Joan is going to be hosting the evening, and Joan is known for her wisdom and her wit and a lot of depth as well, and very insightful. So Joan's going to interview me in a few moments, and there's going to be opportunities for you to ask questions as well. We are going to end on time, but the plan is we'll have an interview in a few moments. We're going to have some videos from some people who were not able to attend. And so we've got the videos and who are going to say something about the book. And then I'll have the interviews. And then I want to then share something from the book and take you on an interesting exercise, which is a reflective exercise and just something that's going to give you a flavor of what the book is like. And from there, I have an opportunity at the end because I've created a course that's based on the book, and I'll share details about that later on. Over to you, Joan.
Okay, as you can hear, Janet is very excited about her new book. It's just been published, and I hope everyone is going to purchase a copy of I've lost the title now, 30 Pearls of Wisdom. And the theme being love is not enough, because we need to have structure. Would like to welcome everybody again to this tonight, and I'm going to ask Janet a few questions. If love was enough, you say that heartbreak wouldn't exist. Would you like to explain that a little bit more to us?
It's of course heartbreak wouldn't exist if love was enough. We're often told that love is all you need. The songs say that, don't they? Love is all you need, and that love is enough. And all you need is, I'm not going to sing. I won't sing. You just come to see me. I don't want to ruin your night by singing. So yeah, love is all you need. So we hear all these beautiful lyrics, and we're told that sometimes by our elders as well, that if you have love, you don't need anything else. That's fine. I did a radio show recently, and someone said, well, "Isn't this all you need?" I said, "Actually, no, because if you are giving all the love out and the other person doesn't love you back, you're missing a lot. And the structure we need, structure sounds a bit harsh, but it's boundaries, it's having clarity. So love starts off with, so love actually starts with emotion. That's what gets things going, but it does need to have the structure. And in a nutshell, I would say the structure is around having boundaries, healthy boundaries, and then also having maturity in the love and the decisions that we make. It's very lovely to have all the romantic feelings, and they're important, but we need to be developing relationship with our eyes open and looking at, we see things very often, we see things in someone, but we just ignore it or think, oh, it can't be that bad. And sometimes it's not, but it usually needs a conversation to see. But we do need to have the healthy boundaries and mature decisions in love, and we also need to have resilience. So the healthy boundaries are around what you allow in to your life or what you don't allow, and it's not as black and white as that. So I'll summarize the boundaries. There are three main kinds of boundaries, and the first kind are porous boundaries, and that's when it's like a wave, like the waves on the seashore. They just come and they go, or something that's like a sponge. A sponge just soaks up all the water, soaks up whatever is given to it, whatever liquid is around it. It absorbs that. And children are like sponges, and they just absorb everything. And until they're taught to say no to this and no to that, or yes, I'd like that, but not that much. So we're so when you've got porous boundaries, you let too much in, you can feel like a doormat, people take advantage of you. You want to say no, but your no feels powerless, and there are lots of reasons for that. And so the porous boundaries, it just lets everything in, the good and the bad, but unfortunately a lot of the good gets mixed up in the bad. It causes a lot of confusion and a lot of pain. And the other kind of boundaries are the rigid boundaries, and people say, oh, I've had too much pain, I'm not going to let anyone treat me like that again. So they lock themselves inside this fortress. There's nothing can come in, the bad can't come in, and they're not going to get hurt because they're on this island in this fortress, excuse the metaphor, but they're just in by themselves and nothing bad is coming in. No one's hurting them because no one's coming nearby. But also no good is coming in because they're just so isolated, and it's very lonely. And when you're experiencing the rigid boundaries, you don't get hurt, and you feel as though you're on your own in a crowd of 1,000 people. In your family, you feel alone. In your community setting, you feel alone because you've got this fortress around you to stop yourself from being hurt. And so those are two extremes, but in between there are healthy boundaries, and that's where you are in your space, you have your garden, your house, you have the key to the gate. You decide who comes in, how much they come in, and it's a balance. So it's being able to say yes at the right time, no at the right time. It's being able to regulate who comes in and what you allow and what you disallow. And that often it's a skill to develop that, because we're not often taught that in childhood, and our cultural backgrounds may have a bearing on that as well. So different cultures have different levels about how much family and community are to be involved in our actual lives. So that's the boundaries.
And thank you for that. So that's the first pillar. So I forgot to mention that there's three pillars that you have, and you've just been describing the first pillar of boundaries that protects our dignity, as you said, where we don't tolerate disrespect, and we want the clarity to prevent harm to us and resentment and stuff. Could you describe about the second pillar?
Yes. So that's the second one, is about the maturity, emotional maturity. And maturity is not about your age, it's about the way that you manage and regulate your emotions. So children tend to as we're children, we just tend to react just like that, until we're trained to manage in a different way. But but when we're feeling a lot of emotions, it's hard to regulate them. But that's about a skill. So it could be that. So it's about learning to regulate them. So if someone said something to you and you're really upset, instead of saying to them something like, "Oh, I'm really sorry that," "Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way," you can acknowledge they feel that way. If I say something to you and you're upset by it, and then I acknowledge it and I just say, "Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way," or "It's your fault that you've taken it that way," what's going to be a more mature response is to say that I can see how that hurts you, and that wasn't my intention, but I do take responsibility for how I said it, and how can we what can I do, or how can we make this better? Yeah, so I'm asking the other person what they would like from me as well. So that's an example of taking responsibility for mistakes I make, or if I do something that's wrong. So that's the mature grown up thing to do. Something.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you didn't mention it, or I didn't hear you mention it. In your book, you mentioned attention is not intention. And I do love words, so I'd like you to just explain that a little bit more, please.
Okay. I'm going to unpack that a little bit more, but as we're here now with it, attention is not because this is particularly around single people, that the principles apply to all aspects of relationship at various levels. Of course, you don't want to be romantic with your boss unless you're married or something, but attention is not attention. Attention is not intention. Just because someone's giving you attention, it doesn't mean that they are intentional about developing a healthy, loving, long-term relationship with you. It may be that they are intentional about just having fun with you, but haven't made that clear. It's good for you to know what you want as well. And also, if they shower you with attention, it's very easy if you've been on your own a long time, or felt unseen or not noticed, even by your partner, and someone's giving you a lot of attention, that attention isn't always with good intentions. And so it's, again, important to just step back and take your time to get to know somebody, and look at the consistent behavior of that person. And it's important to not run ahead with the fact that they're giving you all this attention. It feels wonderful. You feel like a queen. And if you're a man, you feel like a king because she's giving you this attention. Express yourself and receive the attention as long as it doesn't feel too uncomfortable, and as long as it's appropriate, feels appropriate. Receive it as a compliment, but don't go futurizing about it that, "Oh, he's giving me all this attention, therefore we're going to get married."
Thank you for that, because I think that's really key, especially for single women who get very excited if they've been waiting for a very long time and then somebody shows some interest in them. They might take it to the extreme when it might not mean what they think it means, because we've got very vivid imagination, some of us. Yes, so thank you for that. And when you get the book, you'll get to hear the more detail and examples that Janet gives that help us and support us to behave in a more emotionally mature way. So that's the second pillar. And the third pillar, do you want to describe that one?
Resilience. Third pillar is resilience. So all relationships face pressure. Family relationships, romantic relationships at work, pressure. So the question is not, with a couple, it's not, do we love each other? The question is, can we repair? Are we willing to work on what it takes to repair this pressure or this stress in the relationship? And pressure could be from within the relationship, or it could be life circumstances. It's just the fact of life that pressure it comes upon us in all kinds of relationships. So examples could be financial strain, it could be illness, unexpected illness, or very serious illness. It could also be cultural differences, and even if different ways of communicating. So even if you're, say, from the same culture, my family are from Jamaica, and if I was with a Jamaican person, then with that is because the very fact that I've come from one family that's from Jamaica, and British, I'm British born, and then if I was having communication with somebody who's born and raised in Jamaica, there's going to be cultural differences because they're more their norms are different from mine. But I've grown up with England, but the also it's even if we were both born in England from Jamaican descent, that there would be a cultural difference because the culture in my family may be a certain way, maybe that we always eat dinner at the table, and in their family it may be that oh we all gather around the TV and we eat dinner on the tray and we chat while we're doing that, and that might it's a little thing, but it could cause friction. So that's and it's communication is so important. And I'm going to say, just bring in a scripture here. So it says, two are better than one. If either of them falls down, the other one can help the other get up. Two are better than one. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. That's in Ecclesiastes 4:9. And resilience is not about saying, it's not about staying no matter what happens in a relationship. It's knowing when to repair and it's knowing when to evaluate. And it's really when there's a conflict and in the relationship, it's important for someone to say, I don't want this resentment to grow up between us. You know, how can we repair? How can we work through this together and find ways of working through things together, especially if it's early in your relationship. It's important to negotiate how how you're going to do arguments, how you're going to resolve problems.
Because sometimes we just let things slide, don't we? And just allow things, oh, he's just behaving like that today, I'll let him off. And then and it continues and continues. But I think, as you just said, if right at the beginning you let your spouse knows or your partner knows, this is, I can't, I won't tolerate this, this is not the right behavior, this is how I feel, and actually talk about how you feel rather than you make me feel like this. Talked about how it made you feel rather for them projecting it on the other person. Yeah.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah. So as you say, it's about taking responsibility for my own feelings
Mm.
and that self-awareness, because we can't change anything until we're aware of it, and rather than just reacting all the time. So that self-awareness is so important, and taking responsibility, which is again mature, about emotional maturity, and yeah, finding and not blaming other people. Yeah. So we can, and when there is a conflict or disagreement, there's usually, it's never all one person's fault. It could be that, oh, we keep ending up in this kind of discussion or this argument and it keeps on going like this. But actually, maybe I have allowed it to slip by over and over, and then it becomes big. And maybe I didn't know how to challenge it or to how to say no, to set the boundaries, say, when you speak to me like that, I don't like it. I don't do shouting. But it's up to us to develop that self-awareness. The book will help you to do that. Develop the self-awareness and know yourself and love yourself, learn to love yourself and value what's important to you, and you are valuable. And to convey that to the person that you're with, not just romantically, at work, in different settings as well.
And you mentioned earlier about culture, and I think I was in a, another Zoom earlier on in the week about intercultural relationships. And that's a big thing now because there's lots of culture intermingling. Not in the past, it would just, as you said, if you're Jamaican, you stick to Jamaican. If you're African, you stick to African, wherever. But today, people, all cultures, races, religions are all mixing together. So when you put that in the mix of love, you can see that love can't be enough. There has to be more to it than that. So the resilience coming in and the communication that goes with it as well. Anybody got any questions from what Janet has shared so far? You could either write it in the chat or you could just unmute and just answer. No long statements, just a nice, short, sharp question to go along with whatever she's actually said so far. Anybody has any questions? Let me see if there's anything in the chat. Somebody liked what you said about attention is not intention. And actually, that reminds me of something else that you said. You said in the book, Heal before you deal. Do you want to talk about that? Heal before you deal, because I think that's another big issue in relationships.
Absolutely. It's very important for us to work through our past pain, to recover from what they did to us, what they didn't do for us, etc. Otherwise, we're going to carry that baggage with us like an invisible suitcase. It's just so painful. And but we project because but the thing is with relationships, they're like mirrors. They reflect back to us some of how we are, and they reflect back to us what we need to see, and it shows us where we are. So that's why another reason there's a lot of conflict in relationships, because it's, oh, I don't like that about you, but actually there's a part of me that's like that and I don't like that either, and we project onto each other. So if I'm walking around with lots of unresolved pain that I haven't worked through, I haven't taken it to counseling, these are all different ways of working through. Of course, I'm an advocate for counseling, but there are different ways of working through things. And if I don't take responsibility for my recovery, then I'm going to take that into a relationship with somebody else, and the same thing's going to happen again, because I'm going to be reacting out of as a result of the pain that's unresolved. I'll be projecting my pain and my views onto that person that I'm with now. Like, he was like that, so you're going to be the same. And I'll be seeking out that kind of behavior. And the scary thing is, we attract where we're at.
We're trapped where we're at. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So actually, if we do want to have, especially, this isn't only for single people, but I'm a little bit biased because I'm single at the moment myself, living in hope. So I'm letting you know that, yeah, but for myself as well, it was a shock to hear that and to really, when I thought it through, and it's so true. And if we think about all the relationships, friendships we've had, we tend to meet people that are on a very similar mindset. And so if I was to go into a relationship with carrying 23K of emotional pain, then I'll meet, and that last person was tall, dark, and handsome, I'll say, that's it. I'm not going to be with someone like him again. I'll go for someone that's totally opposite. And I'm carrying my invisible suitcase with me. Not over my back, that's a bad thing. Anyway, carrying my suitcase with me, elegant, like an air stewardess. And then I'd meet this person I'll meet this person, say, because I'm not looking for tall, dark, handsome person now, because that's what they did to me last time, and they're not good for me because I'm still hurting, and I don't want that. So I might go for someone that's a bit shorter, light, and presentable. Yeah. And find that we start off great with the representative, or with everyone's wonderful in the beginning. Most people are wonderful in the beginning. And then as time goes by and a relationship gets deeper and deeper, then I would find that so and so did that. Oh, but it's fine, I ignore it. And then I'd find it again, something else. Oh, and I find after time goes by, if I keep putting up with things that are not comfortable for me, or that I feel that make me feel bad about myself, then over time I'll find that I'm in exactly the same position with this new person, light, shorter, presentable. I won't say, yeah, no one's ugly because we're all made beautiful. If you think about it, the relationships you've had, if you've had a number of relationships at various levels of depth, you'll find that there's a type that you have. And that type on the surface is great, but you'll find after a while that the negative side of the type is the same. Yeah. So if they're critical, if they're undermining you, they're not cherishing you, they're projecting onto you, whatever the issues are, they might be aggressive or violent, which is not acceptable. So you'll find that your type that you found keep, if you haven't worked on your issues, then you're going to attract someone who is in the same area. And yes, someone said about soul ties. And then you're also carrying the baggage from that person, then carrying the baggage from the next person. And so it's really important to heal before you deal. And one other thing about that is, if we're running away from something, I don't want someone that's like this, I don't want someone that's like that. when we're looking behind us, we are going to go in the direction. If you're driving and you're driving behind, you're looking behind you, you're either going to crash or you're going to end up in a circle because you're turning, you're looking and running away from something. But it's better to move towards what you really want.
Excellent. Somebody's written in the chat, Karen's written in the chat, 1 Corinthians 13 gives us what I call, she says, a love checklist. And I think a lot of the talk that people have about love does not bear any of this in mind. And if we all followed the checklist, would that not be enough? Because that's the checklist that God has given us, really. So shouldn't that love be enough? And then somebody else has said, love, what do they say about the same thing? 1 Corinthians, oops, just gone up again. Love is not enough based on one definition of love. And they said they remembered their boyfriend, who is now their husband, told them that love is a principle. And at the time, they didn't understand what he meant, but now they know that 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter, that's the principle. That should be the foundation, isn't it, of
Yeah.
what love is.
Yes. And the thing is about, so maybe, it'd be handy if I had a Bible because someone got that handy. Any of the team got that handy.
Yeah.
Could someone read that out? Because not everybody is familiar with that.
Okay.
They often read it at weddings, don't they? They call it the love chapter.
The love chapter in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I will read it. If I can see it without my glasses on. They're going to all have to see me with my glasses on.
I was gonna say,
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to the poor, to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. And this is the love bit. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not re- rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Then it goes on, but the main bit is about love. It's
yes.
love suffers long and is kind, and love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. That bit
Yes.
there.
And it
That's
puts,
1 Corinthians chapter 13. I read the whole bit, but it's you should
brilliant.
read it.
Thank you. Thank you, Joan. Yes. And all of those are action words. They're action phrases. Love suffers long, love endures. But it does endure certain things. You have, that's a resilience. However, love doesn't encourage you. Love doesn't say, it doesn't mean that you're to endure mistreatment or abuse. We were not created for that. Unfortunately, I've worked with a lot of survivors of domestic abuse and other traumas, and the community they were in, or even family, have said, "Oh, just try harder with that person," and they send them back to take. Actually, research shows that a woman is abused a minimum of 33 times before she tells anyone. 33 times a woman is abused before she lets anybody know. And then when she plucks up the courage to tell someone, then depending on who the person is, they'll just say, try harder, wear some nice lingerie, cook him his favorite meal. It's usually women. It does happen to men as well. I've also worked with men that have experienced abuse, physical abuse from their wives, and people have laughed at that and said, nothing to laugh about, because that man has been raised not to hit women. And he wants to stay and protect his children, because if she can do that to him, what's she going to do to children? And he doesn't want his children to become a statistic. So he stays, stays and provides and tries to protect them and acts as a buffer, really. So that's one of the reasons that men stay. So that wasn't part, it's just what's,
Mhm.
it's not in the script today, but that's what's come
Mm.
up. And that's what's come to my heart.
Mm. And it goes in line with somebody's mentioned here. Culturally, many of us may not go to therapy or speak of unresolved pain due to shame and may end up in a fortress trying to protect themselves, understandably, because of past pains. How do we encourage that speaking truth doesn't stop your praise and that therapy may allow us to to feel may allow for feel, deal, and heal to open us up?
I think what you're saying, thank you for what you're saying. So the question is, it sounds like you've, there's some cultures don't celebrate therapy, and they see it as they think you have to be at death's door or something seriously very extremely wrong with you to have therapy. I think therapy takes courage. You've got to be brave to have therapy. And I recognize that different cultures see it differently. And at least if you see a therapist, they're not as emotionally involved as your friends or family are. And you might want to protect your family. It might be a member of your family that is complicated to discuss certain things with someone that's too close sometimes. And, and it's a bit of a mission for therapy to be available for more people and for people to see it as it's a tool. If your car doesn't work properly, you take it to the mechanic. They've got the skills. You can put petrol in or diesel, but you might not be able to, or you can maybe even change the oil. But can you do something in I don't know anything about cars, but in the engine, I wouldn't know. But it's the same thing. My tooth hurts. I can go to the dentist. I'm not going to try and do it myself with the pliers or whatever. You go to where you need to get the help. So, yeah, but it's because since COVID, actually, there's less stigma for counselling since there's been COVID. Unfortunately, it took something awful like that to happen and all those bereavements and everything and the trauma of that. And trauma just isn't so much what happens to you. There are traumatic events that happen, but the trauma is actually the impact it has on you, the ripple effect. It's have you see a still pond, and someone throws in this big boulder, big stone into it, and then it's the ripple effect and how that ripples out into your emotions, into your mind, into your thoughts, into your soul, into your body, even because the body holds a score of what you've experienced.
And it falls in line with somebody says, how do they break the pattern? How do they heal? Because they're stuck.
Yeah.
Like you said, going back, holding the baggage. I think one of the ways is through therapy to get self-awareness to know what you're doing. But you should be able to elaborate on that more than me.
Okay. Um, so, yes, it's sometimes a bit scary to go and look in the suitcase that you've been carrying around because it's just so painful. And you've got it squashed, you've locked it down, you've got it squashed down, buried alive, all that pain buried alive, and it's contained in the suitcase. And we just carry it around. But it really is important to be able to have someone alongside you, someone trustworthy that can help you open the suitcase a little bit. Just open it a little bit together in a short amount of time and look at one bit. You might not even be taking don't open it out and take everything all in one go. That's way too much and you'll feel overwhelmed. But with the skilled therapist, they'll help you work out what you want to look at first. And we do it bit by bit at a pace that works for you. And it's not as though you have to take out everything, every single thing in that suitcase to have your healing, because you'll find that some things are attached to others. And as you work with this bit here and that bit there, you'll find that other things are attached, get resolved along the way. So it's not as though you have to deal with every single thing in there. Some of them just resolve by the fact that you've been working on things. But because you've been the one carrying that baggage all that time, you've not had a safe space to be able to break the pattern, to understand the pattern and to learn to do it differently. That involves thinking about the way you think about things. That may involve forgiving yourself. It may involve changing some of the narrative you heard growing up in your family, your loving family of origin. Yeah. How do you break the pattern? To look at the patterns, but do it in a safe way. Yeah, it's actually available on Amazon now, and we're going to put the link in the chat. But this is this is a sample at the moment. My book should have come today and it hasn't come. It's coming tomorrow. So it's Amazon apologized for sending the real one late, but this is a sample one. And there are some examples in here about there's some exercises on how to actually start to break patterns in a gentle way. Okay, so the book, as we know, is called 30 Pearls of Wisdom on Love and Relationships. Okay? And with that, it's divided into 6 sections. And 6? Yes. Oh, sorry, 5 sections. Should know, I've been writing it long enough. 5 sections, and each section has 6 chapters. So the first part 1 is self-love. Love begins with you. Love sets the standard. Heal before you deal. And each one of these chapters are the pearls of wisdom around each of these topics. And so the book takes this format. So we've got self-love and we've got 6 chapters, 6 different pearls. Part 2 is boundaries. We've got 6 different pearls about boundaries. Look at different kinds of boundaries, how to set them, and how to set them with difficult people, including boundaries on myself. Am I drinking enough water? Am I exercising enough? Am I going to bed early enough? Yeah, those are boundaries with ourselves, which are the hardest ones to set. There's also, so part 3 is self-trust. Have any of you ever made any decisions that you really regret? And then I can't trust myself to make good decisions about this anymore. And we stay away from relationships, or we stay away from trusting ourselves to do certain things about, and it can be very difficult. I've talked in the book about in self-trust area, are you the common denominator? That talks about the patterns and gives you some ideas about how to, there's an exercise in how to start to recognize your pattern. And it's not about blame, it's just about self-awareness, because we cannot change what we cannot see. And once we're aware of it, then we've got some tools in this book to show you how to start to break the patterns in a very gentle way.
And just before you go on, because that bit with the self-trust, one of the pearls there is being alone is better than being mistreated.
Mm.
So that's the real key thing, because some people are into this thing that, oh, Patricia's got her hand up. What? Should we hear what Patricia has to say?
Yes.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi, good
Oh,
evening. I'm just sorry, I just couldn't wait any longer. It's so amazing, the book, that it speaks to us as humans and how we would want someone to treat us and those that we love. But what's so tender about the book and what you've just touched on is just how important it is that it starts with us. It starts with us. We can be sad on our own. We don't need it. We don't have to be with somebody to be sad. But it's if we're not willing to do the work on ourselves, with ourselves, about ourselves, how are we going to, what are we taking into a relationship? And I think that is just so important, because not everybody needs therapy, quote unquote, but everyone needs someone to touch base with, to clarify whether you're spiritual, religious, whether it's your best friend, a parent. It's whatever that person is, whoever that person is, you've got to trust yourself. And when Janet talked about boundaries with yourself, the most important boundaries, it's so important, because it's like, I'm not just looking for a relationship. What have I got to offer to a relationship? What am I bringing to the table? And what I'm bringing to the table is all of my imperfections and also my everything that makes me adorable and beautiful to somebody else. But knowing that we are all perfectly imperfect and always in the making.
Thank you so much for that. That's really beautiful.
Thank you, Patricia. Patricia's my coach, one of my coaches.
Excellent.
Thank you so
Absolutely
much.
excellent. Yeah. So continue. Continue,
Yes.
Janet.
Okay. So we've got the self-trust, and we've got trusting others. Sometimes we trust others way too quickly. They haven't demonstrated their trustworthiness to us. But because we feel they're wonderful, we're impressed by them, we have very porous boundaries and trust people too early and can overshare, and then leaves you feeling vulnerable emotionally. But sometimes if you trust people way too much in a way that's inappropriate, more than they've demonstrated their trustworthiness, then
And that chapter that says compatibility is more than chemistry, because I
yeah,
think that's what happens sometimes when we trust people. We've got
it's
the chemistry, but we're not really compatible. It's just the chemistry and the butterflies and the nice feeling. Yeah.
yeah, and it's exciting. It feels really exciting to have all of that. And we need to enjoy the chemistry to a certain extent, but keep your eyes open and have
Yeah.
boundaries and be mature about the decisions you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So trusting others, and especially if you've been hurt, if you've been very deeply hurt, it's, trusting others, it makes it hard to trust again. And I've actually been in a position, I said, I'm never going to trust anybody at all ever again. I'm over that now. But it was a journey. It was really hard because I couldn't
But
trust myself.
sorry, can I just stop you there? Because that point is really important, because we say things to ourselves and then trap ourselves in that scenario that prevents us from breaking free. So we have to, that's when you said trusting yourself and forgiving yourself. That is so key,
So, yeah.
because we
Yeah.
can't love others unless we love others as much as you love yourself. But if we don't love your neighbor like you love yourself, but if you don't love yourself and you don't forgive yourself, that's where we find it harder to forgive other people.
And then, yeah, and we just get locked into that, just stuck in that, again, a prison of unforgiveness, which causes bitterness and increases your pain. But I just want to say, I can't touch on forgiveness without talking about reconciliation. Reconciliation and forgiveness are two different things. Forgiveness says, so for me to decide to forgive someone, that says that I am, if I forgive you, I'm releasing the right to be bitter and punish you for what you've done to me. What you've done was wrong. But I'm choosing to not punish you harshly and condemn you. However, if a crime has been committed, sometimes it's appropriate for that person to be punished by the law, because the law is set up to protect people. And it's a delicate one, because that person that caused the harm could be a family member or a trusted person in your community. And if it's something they've done to you, they may have done the same to others. But it's each person's decision as to what they do. I've worked with a lot of survivors of abuse of different kinds, and it's each person's decision, even no matter how outraged we might feel that they've been through this, that person needs to make the decision for themselves as to what they're going to do. So forgiveness is a decision that I will make to not condemn you and tell everybody what you did, and all over, tell everybody and be screaming to everyone about the pain and humiliating you for what you've done to me. The other thing is, but whereas reconciliation, that takes two people. So if I've been harmed if I've experienced harm from you, then, and you come to me and say, I'm really sorry what I did to you. I recognize it was wrong, and I'm sorry for the harm it's caused you. I'm a changed person now. Please forgive me. And let's just carry on as though nothing happened. As the offended person, I personally would want to forgive. I would have made that decision to forgive anyway, because we get tied to the person that we don't forgive, and we end up hating them and become like them. Don't want to be like them. So forgiveness is my decision. It takes one person. Reconciliation takes two. So if I've been offended, and you come to me saying, I'm really sorry, Thank you, I accept your apology. And I decide how close I'm going to let you be in my life afterwards. If you could have done that to me, how do I know it's not going to happen again? How do I know I'm not going to experience harm? And I can choose whether I'm going to reconcile with you or not. And that person can't demand that I reconcile with them, that we just carry on as normal and we just pretend nothing happened. It happened. Otherwise, you're just burying it under the carpet, and it's not. So reconciliation is important, and it can be done in some situations. Nelson Mandela, he led so much after all he went through, all those years in Robben Island and the abuse he went through, and he forgave and led the nation of South Africa to, after apartheid, it led them to reconciliation. And he did a lot of touring with his prison guard who treated him the worst, and he forgave. And that's a fantastic example. But it's not easy. It's in the Bible to say forgive others, but my understanding is, my experience is that sometimes things are just too hard, and then I have to just draw on God's strength and power sometimes to forgive. That's me being transparent. We're never asked to do anything that we don't have the power within us to do. So that's it, really. I hope that explains. Forgiveness is for one, reconciliation takes two, but the person who's the offended party can decide how close, whether or not they're going to accept the apology, whether or not they're going to trust that person, because that person, trust needs to be earned. You can't just say, oh, I've changed. So here I am. Let's carry on.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I believe you're going to read a little bit of the book now.
I am indeed. Oh, yes, I'll read a bit, then we'll have a couple of videos.
Okay.
So,
Did you want to do the video first?
I think, yeah. Coco, sorry.
Yeah,
Coco,
no problem.
are we ready for one of the videos? And then
Just
we
let
can
me
have
know
the book
which
reading afterwards.
Yeah, so I have two of them, so just let me know which one you want to.
Yeah. One from
Claudine.
Claudine.
Yeah.
And the other one afterwards. From Arthur afterwards.
So we're going to have two videos now.
Yeah.
And then Janet would read a little bit of her book to you. Aha. Do we recognize this person?
Janet McNish, let me start off by saying a massive congratulations on birthing another book. I'm Claudine Reid, joining you from the sunny, beautiful island of Jamaica. I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there with you today, but I wanted to send this message of congratulations and more kudos to you. I've seen you Saturday after Saturday on the Navigating Life Empowerment class. You come with resilience, you come with courage, and you show up determined. And I trust that all of the information and the insights and the wisdom that you are sharing in your publication of 30 Pearls of Wisdom will allow somebody else to lean into your wisdom, or lean into your sagacity, will lean into your 30 plus years of experience in this. So congratulations to you. Please do, everybody who is watching this video, make sure you purchase a copy of 30 Pearls of Wisdom, because it's generational, right? These 30 Pearls of Wisdom don't only work for one generation, it's generational. We need relationships at every stage of our lives, and Janet has captured this through her experience, through her studies, and through her lived testimonials. Congratulations again to you, Janet, and I look forward to hearing about the next book that you've got in the pipeline.
Excellent. That was Claudine Reid, MBE, all the way from sunny Jamaica, I believe, who couldn't be here but wanted to make her contributions as an excellent coach. Thank you for that.
This is Arthur Fifield. He's written, yes. So Arthur Fifield is a friend, and he's written something in the, and he's decorating today. So he's done this video for us.
Excellent.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. Thank you, Janet, for the opportunity to say a few words about your excellent book, 30 Pearls of Wisdom. My name is Arthur Fifield. My wife and I are the directors of Manor House Health Education and Wellness, CIC, and we are based in North Yorkshire. We help people here to restore their health naturally. And Janet has blessed us with her presence on at least 3 occasions. We love it when she comes. She makes a great contribution throughout the day. During the morning sessions, we have a session called Morning Manna. And Janet is always attends, she always is on time, and she always makes a great contribution. The topics are on love and forgiveness, trauma, the character of Christ, and Janet's contribution lifts and carries the discussion. All I need to do is introduce the topic, and Janet often takes it away. Sometimes she even takes over. She's brilliant. But I find that this book is excellent. As a husband, I love the part where it talks about we should never ever let the sun go down on our anger. Janet echoes this wisdom in a modern, practical way. Never go to bed with unresolved bitterness. Never allow cold silence to replace warm conversation. Always affirm. Don't flatter, but affirm. Be patient. Be intentional. Another thing I like about this book is the case studies. Janet does not just talk about theory, she presents lived experience. She introduces real struggles, fractured trust, blurred boundaries, emotional dependency, and then she shows the pathway to restoration. Fantastic book. And if you have past wounds, I believe this book will help you rebuild your identity with dignity. If you are a church leader, if you have a ministry, if you counsel others, if you mentor couples, I believe this book will serve as a structured guide. And as mentioned, we're going to be using this book. I will be using this book as the chaplain during our morning manna sessions. It's fantastic. And so, if you want wiser, stronger, healthier relationships, I believe this book is for you. If you believe love is not just a feeling, but a discipline, this book is for you. I pray that, Janet, you sell 100,000, yay, millions of these books. I hope it's a bestseller. I hope it's a blessing to all that read this book. And I hope it will be something that is just a part 1. And I look forward to part 2. May God bless you, Janet. Look forward to see you soon. Take care.
Excellent. That is absolutely great. He's just plugged that book so much. I felt the same way when I read the book that everyone should have a copy. It should, the link is in the bio. So if everyone starts buying it now, all at the same time, and tell all their friends, we want it to get to Amazon top 10, maybe number 1 as soon as possible. And it happens as you click the link. The link's there.
Yes, it's in
The
there.
link is
Yes.
there.
Yes. It's in there. So whether you buy the paperback book or you buy the Kindle book, it all goes towards the ratings. And the more ratings I do get for the books, then the more, obviously, the more people can get the help. So feel free to buy one for yourself, for your sister, your mum, your cousin. I'll stop there.
But it is a book that I've read the book, and it is phenomenal the way it's laid out. She's written in such a conversational style and a personal way that you actually feel that Janet's talking directly to you. And as you read the chapters, you could identify, because she puts little case studies, little case histories in with examples that we can actually identify with and actually help us to understand the whole process and how to respond to different situations. And it's pearls of wisdom. You've got a pearl, at least is there 30 pearls in there. If you buy the book, I know that at least one pearl would identify with a situation you've been through, or you know somebody that's been through it, or you're going through it. And the bits at the end where she's got like little, what do you call them? action points. It's
reflection and practice.
Yeah, reflections and stuff, and she asks you to draw pictures if you want to draw pictures and things like that. I'm more into writing and drawing pictures, so that's lovely. It's something for everybody, definitely. Excellent.
Thank
At this
you.
time, did you want to read a little bit of the book? Yes, she's
I
got the book
will.
all prepped and ready. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Thank you, Andrea, who's just bought the book. Thank you.
thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Thank you, Ivona. Glad you all could make it. All right. One of the popular chapters that people have been hearing about is is Pearl 11. And about pearls. The pearl is formed in an oyster shell, and the shell, you get freshwater oysters that are near the surface, but you also get the most precious pearls come from the very bottom of the deepest oceans. And an oyster is very soft, and it lives in a shell for protection. And when a parasite or a bit of grit or stone gets inside, it's very painful for the oyster. And so the oyster tries to protect itself from the pain by covering it with a fluid called nacre, Nacre, and it covers it and it wraps this parasite in this fluid, and then layer upon layer, and in the end a pearl is formed. So for all of that pain, there is a beautiful, precious stone, jewel. And that's often like us with our pain in our life, that we go through pain, but if we work through the pain in different ways, and hopefully some of it with this book, but if we work through the pain, we also become more beautiful, and beauty is from the inside out. It's not just external, it's who you are as a person, and you become more yourself as you work through those pains. And so that's again why I chose the pearls. It's 30 because of 30 years of my being in clinical practice and mental health management, and then knowing the process of when I learned how pearls were made. I was like, wow. And that's something that stayed with me for quite a long time. There's a phrase that says that God makes everything beautiful in its time, even if it's the most horrendous situation. But beauty can come from the ashes, beauty can come from pain, and you become more of the person you created to be as you work through that. And that's my hope for you with this book. And so 30 pearls, and there's the wisdom, the lessons learned from my clinical practice, but also from my own mistakes and lessons I've learned. And so I'm just going to read a bit now. So I'm going to read from this chapter, Pearl 11, which is, don't mistake attention for intention. Let love be genuine. Abhor what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. That's in Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 9. And Naira Wahid says, just because someone desires you does not mean they value you. And I would say, just because someone might be able to afford you in the lifestyle or whatever it is that you feel that you need or want, it doesn't mean they value you. Attention can feel intoxicating, especially when you felt overlooked for a long time. But not all attention is rooted in care or commitment. Some people arrive with charm and chemistry, but vanish when consistency is required. Real intention reveals itself not only in grand beginnings, but in sustained actions over time. Science shows that the brain releases dopamine when we receive attention, especially in the form of flattery or novelty. But without consistency, that high quickly fades, leaving confusion, heartbreak. Intention, however, is proven biologically through long-term behaviors that build trust and emotional safety. Instead of asking, do they really want me? Ask, do they honor me? Do they respect my values and show up consistently? The difference between attention and intention is a difference between fleeting infatuation and lasting love. Example: Tina met someone who sent daily texts and compliments. It felt thrilling for her until she noticed that he never followed through on the promises to meet up. His attention was very flattering, but it wasn't backed up by intention. She eventually realized that charm without consistency isn't love, it's distraction. Don't confuse temporary attention with lasting commitment. The next part is, so I'm going to read a reflection. There's each chapter, each pearl has a reflection and practice section. And I'm just going to do this one with you, give you an option. So I'm going to ask you to journal or think about a time that you mistook attention for intention. And this could be romantically, this could be a friend, so a new friendship with someone of the same gender or opposite gender, a colleague, work colleague, thinking, oh, it's great. You could be, you could be a really good friend. It could be someone that comes to you like a friend. Okay, all right, we'll carry
Is
on.
everybody here?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to do a section here, journal. Write about a time you mistook attention for intention to build a serious relationship. What patterns did you ignore and what did you learn? Just think about that for a few seconds. You don't have to tell us, but it's for you to be aware. I'll give you 30 seconds to just think about that. Something will come. Someone asked me to repeat. So write about a time when you mistook attention for intention to build a serious relationship or friendship. What patterns in their behavior did you ignore? And what did you learn when you look back? It's like, I see this now. So just jot down what comes into your mind. This is for your own reference. There's a creative section as well. For some people like writing, others like drawing or doing collages. So there's a mixture of those as well. So the exercise is essentially the same. And this creative one is, on one side of the page, draw a list of signs of attention. And on the other side of the page, draw or write signs of intention and decorate it as a reminder. So either one of those. And then but everyone is encouraged to do an action point. So at the end of that is the action point, I'd say this week, and please try this, implement this in the week. This week, observe who sustains care through consistent actions. What are the consistent actions of respect, value, honor, openness, honesty are you experiencing? And if you're experiencing the opposite, or things that don't add up to that, who are that you are getting that from? If there's thinking about a relationship that you want to just be aware, just have the awareness of how people are treating you. Yes. So the action, so be aware of, just observe who sustains care through consistent actions to you and who offers only words or charm. Charm is deceptive. Yes. So that's one chapter. So they're quite short chapters. Some are a bit longer than others, but they've all got an action point at the end. They've all got an exercise that's going to help you reflect on what you've just learned, what you've just read. And so it shows you how you can apply it to your life, whether it's with your family, romantic relationships. If you're married, it might give you some other ideas of how to love in a more deep way with the person you're with. So each chapter has that format.
Mhm.
And yes. So that's that. I also want to so I also wanted to mention, I'm supposed to leave you to reflect for a moment. I'm aware that I want to respect your time. Okay.
I think they've had enough time to reflect. And they've written in the chat as well, those that wanted to.
Thank
Did you want to talk about the course or did you want to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Vincent. All right. So we've done 2 videos.
Mhm.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Is there another video?
No, that hasn't come through.
Okay.
Okay. This international people.
Okay.
But we've got, yeah.
Did you want to mention them?
Yeah. So actually what I want to do before we get to the very end, I want to thank a few people who have endorsed the book. I want to thank Bishop Elsie Blakes, who said he's an international relationship teacher and I don't know the numbers, he's got thousands, tens of thousands of followers. So RC Blakes, we had a conversation the other day. I've been in a group with him, and he said he enjoyed my anyway. I'll say what he said. He wrote the foreword for me very kindly, but unfortunately couldn't make it today.
Do you want me to quickly read what he said?
Yes, please. Yes, better if you do.
Foreword by R.C. Blakes Jr. Janet McNish offers the world a profound yet deeply practical manifesto for hope in relationships. At a time when so many are misguided on this subject, she combines years of therapeutic expertise with her own lived experience to shine a guiding light for those feeling lost. I highly recommend this book to anyone who desires to get it right in love. 30 Pearls of Wisdom on Love and Relationship is a True Gift by R.C. Blakes Jr., author, speaker, relationship teacher. Yeah, fantastic. He's
Thank
highly
you.
recommending the book and he's an expert too.
He's brilliant. Yes, he's like an adopted uncle to me. He's brilliant. Can you read the one from Annabelle Whelan Clark, which is on the next page?
Let's
And
have a
I'm
look.
just getting so we can read the next one from Annabelle, and then also from Camille. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, let me just find
Thank
it.
you.
I can see.
Oh, you've got it on the Kindle on the modern.
Annabelle, yes. Recommendations for Janet McNish, who's a registered counsellor. This great book blends biblical wisdom, psychological insight, and practical tools to help Christian and other women navigate key life issues. The 30 Pearls draw from Janet's extensive professional expertise and personal experience. She speaks to the heart of who we are and how we relate to God and others, including through difficulties and disappointment. Use this book and share it with others. It will be deeply encouraging and life-giving for many. And that's from Annabelle Weldon Clark, who's a chartered psychologist, Engaged Network co-chair.
Read Mel's, because Mel is married.
Mel Larson's business growth coach. She says, I love this wise, thought-provoking, encouraging, and compassionate guide. It's full of useful quotes and relatable stories for healing. Plus, it shares throughout many powerful prompts and practical tips for personal growth. Although it draws on the Christian faith, I believe it will be valuable and applicable to readers of any background. Even though I am happily married and I feel I have a good degree of self-worth, this book still gave me a lot of pause for thought and inspired me to think much more deeply about love and how I express it to myself and others. A beautiful read. Wow. Excellent.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Did you want me
Thank
to read the
you.
next
Thank
one
you,
as
Mel.
well?
I'd say read the one from Kamel Iona, because I like, from Kamel.
Okay, Camille Iola is a speaker, author, and journaling facilitator. This book doesn't just speak, it searches you. Janet writes with depth, clarity, wisdom, and compassion drawn from her decades of experience. It makes you stop, breathe, and confront the truth about how you love. And as her book coach, I had the privilege of watching this work unfold. As a woman, I felt every page. I paused more than once to journal because the truth hit home. 30 Pearls isn't pretty inspiration, it's transformation. expect to be challenged, expect to grow. This is not a light read, it's a life read. Wow. That's from Camille.
Thank
It
you.
doesn't just speak to you, it searches you. That's right. That's what Shirley
Yeah.
repeated. Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, Camille unfortunately wasn't able to make it today, but yeah, she would send me messages partway through about her experience as she was going through the book. Yeah.
Can I just read one more?
Yes, please do.
Just because Dr. Arthur Fifield.
That was Arthur who spoke earlier. Yes.
Oh, right, because so you don't need to hear it again, but he's written it, the general overview, the
I know.
structure and the consistency, the reflections and the practice sections, overall tone and readability, and the final reflections. He's given it a rating of 9 out of 10. So that just showed
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, Arthur's very forthright and honest and has integrity. So I feel very honored that I got a 9 out of 10. Okay. Oh goodness, it's a time. I need to watch the time.
It's 8:30 now. We've got
Oh.
another 20 minutes, have we?
No, because it's supposed to end at 8:30.
Oh, my note said
I got-
8:40. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's my fault. I should.
Everybody, you're not rushing off yet, have you? Janet just wants to talk about an exciting course that you're all going to be privy to and might get a reduced rate for.
So if you'd like to get, of course, I'd love you to buy the book. And if you want to go deeper, then, and to go on a journey to work through some of this in a group setting and with me as your coach, then I want to present to you the opportunity of attending the Pearls experience. I'm just going to summarize it for you now. So the Pearls experience is a 6-week guided journey. What it is, it's a structured, supportive journey designed to help you to apply the wisdom of the pearls, not just to read them, because it's the insight that changes the awareness, your awareness, and it's practice that changes relationships. So what you'll gain from attending the Pearls, the Pearls program is you'll come away with emotional clarity. You'll understand the relationship patterns and why you choose who you choose, why you respond or tolerate things the way you do. You'll learn about healthy boundaries. You'll be able to start implementing them really quite early on. You'll learn how to honor yourself without guilt or without conflict. You'll develop emotional maturity skills. You'll move from reacting emotionally to responding wisely. You'll gain discernment in relationships. You'll be able to recognize intention, no matter how dressed up it is. And you'll be able to recognize character and compatibility more clearly. So even though the feelings are happening, you'll be able to recognize, to see through the smoke and enjoy the smoke, but see through see what's really there. And then you have more freedom. Self-trust and confidence. You'll also gain self-trust and confidence to make relationship decisions from wisdom rather than fear or from loneliness. You will also learn psychological insight. You'll be able to integrate your faith and your belief system into your growth. You'll gain psychological insight that's grounded in faith-informed practice, principles, and practical, that are practical and compassionate and that are real. So, in a nutshell, week 1, 6-week journey. Week 1, the foundation is about love begins with you. Week 2, boundaries are self-respect. Week 3, emotional maturity, understanding triggers, communication, and regulation, how to regulate your emotions. And week 4, discernment versus fantasy, seeing clearly in dating and other relationships. Week 5, healing and forgiveness, which is about releasing past patterns without losing wisdom. Week 6, building thriving relationships, creating sustainable, emotionally healthy connections. So how this experience works is that we would have weekly guided sessions. We would meet once a week for 75 minutes, for an hour and 15 minutes. I'd be doing a bit of teaching. there'll be a reflection exercise, and there'll be some practical tools that you'll be able to apply immediately. You'll have a supportive community environment. I'll have a private group for you, and I'll be contributing to that, and there's support in that group. And so you've got that accountability, gentle support, encouragement, and accountability for your growth. And this is not a therapy course, it's personal development. It's therapeutic learning, but it's not counseling. Okay. So this is for women, excuse me, gentlemen, but this is for women who are seeking healthy relationships. It's for singles preparing wisely for partnership. It's for those healing from past relationship pain. And it's also for professionals wanting to have emotionally healthy connections. So this book shares the wisdom. The Pearls experience helps you to live the wisdom. So over 6 weeks, we'll gently walk through the skills that help you to love, not just to begin with love, but for that love to thrive. If tonight resonated with you, the course is simply the next step for those who want guided growth rather than doing it alone. We've been through too much on our own. And I want to create a community where you can grow and get that support and have the life and the love that you want to experience and that you deserve. If that's something that interests you, I am going to ask you to put in the chat, put a number 1 in the chat if it's something that interests you. While you're doing that, I'm going to talk to you about the offer, and I'll write this to you as well. So it's a 6-week course, and I'm very hands-on. We'll be in it, and what you're going to learn. So the course will normally retail at £597, which is £50 a week. I'm going to break it down like that. However, a special launch offer, which is going to be £297, and you can pay that in installments. And the launch offer is going to be available until Sunday, till the end of Sunday, and that will be £297. So I want to have the numbers are going to be limited, because if the group is too large, then people won't feel so safe. And what I want to say, for the first 15 people that do sign up, but I'll send you the information after this, you'll have it by the morning, first thing in the morning. The people that do sign up, the first 15 people that sign up, once you've received the information, we'll have a private meeting, and I'll get you ready for the course, but also you can have a Q&A about the different issues and relationship dilemmas that you're dealing with, and some of what you want in the course for yourself. And I can tailor it to a certain extent to what you need, and also adapt it so that it's useful for the other people that do join. So I will send you the details.
Sorry,
Right,
Janet, did you say what's the starting date?
So the starting date is going to be, I'm going to confirm that, and it's going to be on a Thursday evening, but it's likely to start, it's going to start at the end of the month, towards the end of February, sorry, towards the end of March.
March.
So I'm going to put all of that
Mhm.
into the details I'm going to send you, and I'll send it to you in a more structured way that you can see it, you can look it up and make a more informed decision from there.
Excellent. And
Okay.
it's a weekly, monthly?
It's weekly. So meeting,
6 weeks.
once we start, we'll be meeting every week for 6 weeks online,
Mhm.
and we'll be meeting for an hour and 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And you're also going to have the WhatsApp group. I'll keep it in WhatsApp group for us, for the whole group. And that will be running for a little bit before, so people can start to get to know each other in the group, and I'll get you ready, prepped for it. And then it'll be running for a little bit after the group ends. And I will be inputting into that group as well. I'll be monitoring the group. and supporting you as well. Research shows that clients that do homework, I call it growth work. So if you do the growth work, you will grow. Clients that do the growth work or homework in between sessions tend to get deeper and longer lasting results. And I've seen that in my 30 years of practice with my clients. And we call it growth work because it's a bit more fun. And the growth work, you've seen a bit of it. Some of it's observation and making notes. So they will vary. Each week is a different topic, and each week will have a different type of homework or growth work for you. Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you for listening.
I'm definitely going to be booking onto that, and I want to be one of those first 15. So everybody else that's interested, if you've got a number one, just put number one. So we've got your email addresses. So Janet will be able to email you all the details after today. Simone's got your hand up.
Could I just quickly share comments in about 60 seconds? Just to say, Janet, well done. I'm so proud of you. Janet and I move in very similar parallel circles. We've been on similar journeys. I've had the privilege and honor of actually interviewing Janet on my YouTube platform, and everything you are hearing today is literally just the tip of the iceberg. You will be so blessed to buy the book and to go on the course, because Janet is blessed. Janet is a woman anointed, I believe. She's definitely found her purpose and her passion in terms of what she does. Every conversation I have with her has been a deal maker for me. And yeah, just want to say I'm so proud of you, Janet.
Hi, Dave. Thank you. But yeah, so love, of all the things we've talked about tonight, I want you to remember that love begins with emotion, but it survives on structure. Emotion starts it, but it's structure that sustains it. Strong structure allows love to thrive. And the difference between fragile love and lasting love is learned skills. And lasting love is built. It's not wished for. We need to build lasting love, brick at a time, pebble at a time. And anything that's got skills attached to it, there's hope, because we can learn them. We just weren't always taught those things early in life. I learned a lot of this way into my 30s, 40s. I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to say how old I am. I'm still
Well
learning.
done.
I'm still
Well
learning.
done.
So I want to thank you. Thank you all so much. And Joan, thank you. I want to thank you, Joan, for hosting. And in place of Camille, you've been wonderful. And I want to thank the team behind the scenes, which is Coco Dupree, who's doing the tech stuff, the tech department for us. We've got Rosemary Reed and we've got Joanne Roberts, who've been letting you in and managing some of the administration.
Percent clear.
Who's been recording for us as well. And you've all been a tremendous support to me in this journey. Thank you. It's just the whole journey. I'm so grateful. I really couldn't have done this without you. It sounds really corny, but I couldn't. I really am so grateful to each of you. And thank you all who have turned up tonight to listen to me for all this time. And thank you for your support with the book and your support of my work over the years. It's really lovely to be reconnected with some of you who I've worked with years and years ago. And I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful. And of course, I thank God for enabling me to do this. I couldn't, without the healing I've received from counseling and my relationship with the Lord, I don't know how I'd have managed. And I've worked with people who have a Christian faith and people who don't. I've worked with Muslims and Hindus, and they've come through transformed. And the principles of love apply to everybody, no matter what your value system or your background. So I just want to thank each of you for coming and staying on and making the time and supporting me. So yes, please do buy the book. Shirley, one more word, Shirley. Quick.
Shirley, very quickly, Shirley.
I did mention, but I didn't hear any feedback. Have you got a workbook with this course that you're doing? I don't know if you mentioned a workbook or not.
Yes, there'll be a workbook. Yes.
And there's some men in the group in the chat have said when is something coming out for the men? And I know you are keen to work with women, but We can't leave the men out, can we?
Thank you, gentlemen, for asking for what you want. What I want to do is, Lucille wants a signed copy. Okay, come to London. Okay. Yeah, I want to do, what I want to be able to do, I do want to do something for the men, but this one was really first for the women. But I'm looking at, with the men, I've worked with a lot of men in different situations, and I do want to serve you as well. But initially, I felt that this book needed to be primarily for my sisters. And I have also got some very good colleagues that we might do some. I was thinking we might do something for the men, me and another man do something with the men. I could do it. But it's good. I've got some very good trusted colleagues as well that we might do something together, and then something as well with the men and women together. And as the weather gets warmer, and like, we'll be doing some face-to-face events as well. So tonight is introduction to the book and the course, but there are other plans as well for socials and personal development with some of my other colleagues as well. And we will definitely include the men. And also part of the work I'll be doing with the women is helping women to understand men more and have more compassion. But I want the women to, I really want women, I work mostly with women, but
That's all right. You don't have to make any excuses.
I'm only
Once you've
speaking-
helped the
but
women,
yes,
the men
that's
will
it.
eventually be helped because
Yes, exactly.
we will
'cause-
help able to support our men.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
So
I
Janet will
care
make
about
sure
you.
there's something in place for men at a future date.
Thank
The
you.
first one is with the women, so that's really good, and we're really
Thank
grateful
you.
for that.
That was too-
Okay, thank you to everyone that stayed right to the very end, and we really apologize again for being over time. That's my fault. I had wrong timings. I was thinking we've got till 9 o'clock, but we've done everything. We've completed everything now. Everybody that's put a number one in the chat, we've got your email addresses if you've registered, and we'll be able to send you the details regarding the course. You've got in the chat, you've also got the link. Get the link to get the book 30 Pearls of Wisdom on Love and Relationships from Janet McNish. Get your copy soon and invite other people to get copies too. Share it with friends. And I look forward to seeing and hearing from you all again in the near future. Thank you.
Wow. And Jeffrey from America.
We've got somebody from Ghana as well.
Yes, Josie. Is that Josie? Wow. Thank you.
And
It might be.
Scotland.
I don't know anyone in Scotland. That's amazing. Oh, yes. And Sheila as well might have come in from Ghana. She's on her way there this morning. Yes. But thank you wherever you've come from and you've taken this time. I really appreciate you. And yeah, thank you so much. And we're closing now.
Thank you for inviting us. It was an excellent book launch, and I think we had about 71 people on, so well done you.
Thank you, Shirley.
Has someone saved the chat?
Just really beautiful. I've enjoyed it. It's been so insightful. Just thank you. And it was really impressive. Lots of numbers. I was really happy also to be in communion with everybody. And thank you to your team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Don.